You know what? I think my dad was right. I never understood why he'd come home pissed, right. But now I know why he was pissed.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the goal of science is to disprove your hypothesis, or at least attempt to. And that's how you find the truth. That's why when they said, again, not getting political, when they said, trust the science, that's the least scientific thing you could say. Scientists should never trust the science. They should be like, okay, this is what we're demonstrating. The science demonstrates or shows this right now, but let's try and disprove this to make sure that this theory is correct. We go back and forth on supplements throughout the years, from branched amino acids to glutamine to all these different supplements that there's been ups and downs. There's papers that say this, papers that say that. And what we do in this industry, which is always fascinating, is the YouTube scientists do a great job of simply cherry picking. I could take any supplement on the market. I can either make it sound like a scam, or I can make it sound like the greatest thing utilizing science, because based on the study groups, based on the methodology, based on how you collect the data, a lot of people don't understand how you collect the data and interpret the data is another thing that can, and there's been a lot of issues in the science world, in the supplement world, where they take the study, they take the data, and they use the way that they want to express the opinion they want to get towards based on their funding. So we've had issues with that in the past with a lot of different ingredients. So I look at science as, we need more data. We need to question more things. Nothing is certain. And that's what really gets me about today when they say, well, the science is conclusive. It's like, well, no, it could be demonstrating something more so than the other thing, but science is always evolving. And I mean, for example, I always use this example. In the early 1900s, if you have a mental issue, like the first thing they did, the science showed frontal lobotomy. They put a hole in your head and they did this. Thank God we questioned that science. Like science evolves, technology evolves, methods evolve. And it's sad to see, but I mean, we've had that all along. But if you look at who started a lot of this, like a lot of the studies are funded by Gatorade, but at the end of the day, Gatorade did block a lot of things. And they did pay for a lot of studies and a lot of people. And they were kind of like a huge lobbyist group. Am I mistaken in that at the time?
No, it's interesting. If you go back to the 80s, when I attended the American College of Sports Medicine fairly regularly, there was a very much a bias, maybe, I don't know if that's the right word, towards Gatorade. Gatorade was funding a lot of studies. We certainly know sports drink, depending on the context, will work better than water if you're, let's say, doing aerobic training for more than 60 to 75 minutes. We know that. But it wasn't so much that they were showing that sports drinks were helpful. It was this weird anti-protein stance that they were taking, that, protein is bad for your kidneys. You don't need that much protein. And yet,
so fucking sad.
Yeah, it was. I'm thinking, okay, well, you need protein because you have to recover from training. How are you going to recover? You can't just, suck down sugar and water and sodium and potassium. Yeah. You have to recover. And from the 1980s till about today, it's taken that long for the idea that protein is needed, not just for strength power athletes. It's needed actually. In fact, you might argue it's needed more for athletes that engage in endurance events, because they beat the shit out of their bodies. If you're running 120 miles a week, I don't think there's any amount of weight training that is comparable to what your body goes through running 120 miles a week. So for them, it's just simple recovery. Now, here's what's funny about the protein issue. When I remember attending a ACSM conference, and they typically would make fun of bodybuilders. So they put a picture of a bodybuilder up there and they'd say, no one's ever died of small muscles, sarcopenia. So no one's ever
actually, yes. Yes, they have.
Right. But it was one of those things where they had this
demonstrably false.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of thousands of people a year.
Millions.
Right. But it shows how how they can be sort of captured by these weird, ideologies, and that ACSM had this anti-resistance training, anti-protein stance for such a long time. And it really didn't change till after the year 2000. So here's the thing, even now, okay, in the middle, and this is sort of a sidebar, but when I did a lot of those high protein diet studies in the mid 20 teens, I'll be honest, when I was doing it, I'd have this internal dialogue with myself saying, God, what a fucking waste of time. Of course, it's not going to make you fat. Of course, it's not going to harm your kidneys. Of course it's not. However, apparently 99% of clinicians disagree with me. So I'm thinking, okay, I guess I have to do this to convince the 99% who I think are wrong. So we do it. It doesn't make you fat. It doesn't harm your kidneys. We even follow up for 2 years with these bodybuilders. Nothing happens. They're all lean. They're all healthy. But even 2 years, get this, Al and Mark, 2 years, apparently, well, now you got to do a 5-year study. Now you got to do a 10-year study. I'm like, I'll be dead. If I keep doing these long studies, I'll just be dead, right? So it's they keep moving the goalpost. And I'm thinking, you know what? Stick to your 0.8 grams per kilo of protein. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, so the recommendations to ISSN, I believe the easy way to kind of express it is for athletes, you round up to a gram per pound just to make it easy for people to digest. Is that in the position statement? I believe it was a gram per pound.
Yeah, well, at the low end, it's like 1.5 or 1.6 grams per kilo. But most of us, if you ask most of us, we'll say just do a gram per pound. Try to hit that. But if you do more, that's even better.
Lean body mass or total weight?
Total weight.
Total weight. So what if someone's more, we have a lot of, Alan's base is a lot of obese people. That's why, a lot of our supplement strategies are weight management.
Right.
Looking at that, what if someone is, let's say 100 pounds overweight? They're 300 pounds and they should be 200, let's say. Just
and these are men, women, doesn't matter.
Sure. What do they identify as that day? Here we go back to that. They're fluid. They're gender fluid.
They're gender fluid. Okay. Here's the thing. I actually have them aim for what their current body weight is. And more often than not, they don't hit it, but if they get below it and it's towards what they want their target body weight to be, that's a good thing. Now, it'll be hard, put it this way. The behavior of eating 300 grams of protein for a 300-pound obese person, I would almost say is virtually impossible. Not many can do it. But if they're aiming for 300 and they hit 200, I'd be like, wow, that's pretty goddamn good. So you can't, if aliens came down to Earth and wanted to fatten us up and eat us like cattle, they're not going to give us protein to make us big and fat. Yes. They're going to give us donuts, bagels, carbs, fat. I could get so fat on carbs and fat so easily. But if you're going to give me whey protein, I ain't getting fat. I'll just be hot all day and I'll sweat.
So let's go there. Whey protein. A lot of people look at it as a supplement. I look at it as a food. How would you describe whey protein? And would you recommend people take it? What are the pros and the cons?
Well, it's funny. I actually refer to it both as a supplement and as a food. It kind of depends who I'm talking to. I think because there's so much data on whey protein, I think the big pro is what it's high in all the essential amino acids. It's easily digestible. Although there are some people who say they just can't handle milk-based protein, which is fine. Try something else. Easily digestible. It increases muscle protein synthesis in the acute sense, more so than anything else. Now, there are things we could argue about that, whether that matters. But it's probably the single best protein in terms of muscle protein, the muscle protein synthetic effect. I don't see anything wrong with it other than the only complaint I hear is my gut feels funny, my belly, I can't do it. So they'll go for a plant-based thing like pea protein, rice protein, or whatever.
Like ambrosia planta, Jose. Ambrosia planta. That's what we go for. I have it right here, just in case. So I completely agree. I also think a lot of people miss out on the immune benefits of whey protein.
Yep.
Will Brink had a fantastic paper on glutathione and how whey protein is actually, I don't know, he said more. I didn't read into it that much beyond what he wrote. NAC is taken due to its ability to enhance glutathione. Whereas whey protein, he says, at least Will Brink claims it's stronger than NAC for glutathione. And we learned a lot about that during, 2020 and all the, viruses flying around that it's actually immune beneficial.
No, actually, it's funny you bring that up because I never, ever bring that up because I guess the audience I talk to, they train hard, good body composition, they're healthy. So it's almost to that group, they're like, well, we're healthy to begin with. They never ask about the health benefits, but I'm glad you brought that up because there's a lot of data going back like 20 or 30 years showing health benefits of whey. So that's good.
That's fantastic.
It is.
All right. So I just, that's good to know. So here's one thing that we get a lot of, and again, in consideration, I'm just mowing down these topics. You look at the FDA supplement regulation. Now you and I, we just got audited last week, passed with flying colors, got our license, of course, re-upped at our warehouse, not even our production facility. So the FDA, not only do we have NSF compliance certification for where we manufacture our products for Ambrosia, which is also NSF Sport, BSCG, MTS Nutrition. We have all that stuff, but our actual facility is actually GMP registered, GMP certified by the state of Ohio. The government regulates the hell out of supplements. The thing is, I will argue, and I know you're more of a less government kind of guy, but I do like some oversight. There's not enough FDA to take down the people who need to be taken down. The SARMs, the pro steroids on the market. And granted, we could argue for legalizing everything, not the platform for that, right. But being sold in a supplement store, people are going to assume that it's not a steroid, that it's not going to, cause potential. Like, you have people from when they were selling hormones on the market who had liver failure, kidney issues. You had a lot of bad things. At the time, I believe there were like 12 agents to cover the entire country for supplements when that was happening. Yeah. So I actually welcome the FDA with open arms. Sure, it takes a lot of our day going through stuff with them, and they normally come unannounced. And we don't have the manpower to be like, okay, here's a full day, but we do it anyway. So I want to get to your opinion. So the supplements, people say supplements are unregulated. What do you have to say to that?
Yeah, I think, I teach a sports nutrition class, and I tell the students, I say, when you graduate and you're out of here, and if you say any of these three things, I will tell people I don't know you. You were never in my class, and you did not go to the school. Number one, protein's bad for your kidneys. If you say that, you're an idiot. Number two, lactic acid causing delayed onset muscle soreness. Please do not tell people that. There's no such thing as lactic acid in your body. It's lactate plus hydrogen ions, and it doesn't cause delayed onset muscle soreness. And number three, the supplement industry is unregulated or not regulated. I mean, certainly we're all aware that Bill Clinton signed that bill in 1994, the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act. I think this is, DSHEA. I think the challenge is this. I mean, you allude to it that the FDA is understaffed.
Yes.
Okay. Well, they need to do something about that. That's something us as consumers of these products and you as a producer, that's on them in a way. So
people are literally going outside, spreading their legs and sun tanning their balls. People are following these crazy diets, eating before 8 a.m., after 8 p.m. They don't know what they're doing. They're looking at all these strange things, strange foods, trying to increase their testosterone, training AM, PM, full body, half body. They're looking for these secrets, these solutions, a shortcut to a great body, to build muscle, to burn fat, to be the best them ever. This is crazy because it's all about protein, guys. People doing all of this stuff aren't even getting the thing that we know works. They're not getting enough protein. That's what you need. Protein. People don't eat enough of it. How do we get that message across? They need about 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein. So before you do all this crazy stuff, for goodness sakes, guys, get enough protein in your diet, or you're just going to be spinning your wheels, making no gains. That other stuff might work, but if you don't have enough protein, it means nothing. It's hard to eat that much protein. You might not have time. You don't have a busy job. What you need is something easy, something you can just throw in a shaker bottle, put a little water in it, shake it up, and there you go. You have protein, 20 grams a scoop, Ambrosia Planta. It makes it so easy to get your protein. So before you go doing all this crazy stuff, wasting time and energy, make sure you get enough protein in your diet.
For the past few months, I've been making the gains of my life. Never thought I'd be training this way, but I've taken all of the new data on hypertrophy and put it together. Not only am I making all these gains, I'm never terribly sore. I never feel run down. My energy's through the roof. I'm able to hike. I'm able to swim. I'll do everything I love. It doesn't cut into my life. I don't feel fatigued. I don't feel terrible, but I'm still making these crazy gains. It is the Superior Hypertrophy Training Book, and it is yours, and it is free. Go to superiorhypertrophy.com. That's superiorhypertrophy.com and start it today. You have nothing to lose. It's absolutely free. My gift to you. Now go make some damn gains.